everyone, in this video we will use HTML and CSS to create a pink owl. It is a CSS art, and by doing so we will learn different CSS properties. So if you are interested, open your favorite text editor and start coding with me. Let's get started. Let's define parent div element and give it a class owl. It will work as a parent element, and inside of this parent element, let's define body, and inside of this body, let's define the wing, div class wing. It has a two wing 1, and close this div element and define the wing 2. And close this div element. Now outside of this body tag, we will define its nose. So div class, give it nose and close it. And the next, let's define eyes. It has a two eye 1. Close this div and define another div with class name I2. And then next we will define the leg. Close this div and leg 2. And here it is a typo error. Leg. So here we define all the body part we are going to work with. Next we are going to work with CSS properties. Okay, so here we define our body tag. Inside of this body tag we define bunch of CSS properties to make our owl at the center. Next we have a parent element owl. We are going to set the position relative. It's going to be very helpful, so all the other parts is going to be relative to this parent element. It is a must to define the position relative to our parent element, because if we forget about it, our eyes, nose, leg are going to be everywhere on this page. So next we have body part. Let's design the body part. If we create any CSS part, simply it is a rectangular box. So here we are going to give it a width and height. Width and its width are going to be 150 pixel and height is going to be 180 pixel, and it is still a blank, nothing showing here. So we are going to define the background. It is FFCBCD. It is a pink in color. So now we have something on our browser. Let's manipulate it. We are going to manipulate it with border radius. The top part is going to be sharp, so it is a 0, 0, and the bottom part is going to be rounded. So I'm going to give it a 50% for both left and right, bottom left and bottom right. So now we get the U shape. So now we are going to declare the pseudo element body after colon before curly braces. We need to define the content, or it's not going to work. Position is going to be absolute. So here we are using position absolute in our pseudo element, so we need to use position relative to the body. position relative. Here we are also going to give it a width 130 pixel and height at 60 pixel. Nothing is showing, so we need to use background properties F6, F2, F3. Manipulate it with border radius 50%. It's going to be elliptical in shape and use top 35 pixel. Position it from the top and let's use left 0, right 0 and margin outer to align it center. Next we are going to give it a wing. So we have the wing class is a width is 80 pixel and height is 120 pixel. Let's give it a slightly dark background FF. We are going to give it a position absolute. Manipulate it with border radius 50% and it's going to be round in shape. Position it from the top 30 pixel and give start index with 1. -1 so it's going to be behind. Redefined wing 1. Let's give it a left position -18 pixel in the right wing 2. Give it a right positioning -18 pixel, same height. Now we have a wing, so next we are going to define eyes. So eye width going to be 18 pixel and height going to be same 18 pixel. Give it a background of black and next give it its position with border radius 50%. It's going to be round in shape and with the top property we are giving it a position from the top. Give it a border 8 pixel solid brown color. It looks like a button, but it is going to be look like a eyes very soon with our pseudo element property. So eye before content, without it is not going to work. Position absolute width to be 5 pixel and height going to be 5 pixel. Give it a background and border radius round in shape. It is 50%, so it's going to be round and we are going to position it top left. Top going to be 2 pixel and the left going to be 7 pixel, or we should give it a 9 pixel. How does it look? It looks like the eyes, right? Next we are going to position it I1 left eye position 20 pixel. In the right eye, I2 to be same 20 pixel. Now we have a 2 eyes. Next we are going to create a nose. It's going to be rectangular nose. It's going to be 0 and height will be the same 0 and we are going to use border property. Border left 75 pixels solid. It's going to be transparent. The border right 75 pixel solid, and also going to be transparent. Border top is going to be slightly bigger, 85 pixels, solid, and going to be slightly darker like our wing. We are going to position it at the top, so position absolute, and for that we are going to use top minus Z. Yes, that's it. And also we are going to use Z index properties so it's going to be at the very top. Let's also use 0 property before. Okay, so here it is a typo, so it is going to be T, not H. Width is 0 because we are also going to be a small rectangular and use it like a peak, and height is also same 0. Border left 10 pixels, solid, transparent, border right 10 pixels, it is same, solid and transparent. Because it is upside down, so that's why we use border top, and it's going to be 50 pixel, solid, and it is yellow, and it's not showing up because we didn't use content and we also didn't use absolute position. So now it's up here. So now we are going to position it left. So it is left. Use bottom minus 5 pixels. So it's going to be slightly up. Also, we need to create something sharp. So it is going to be like we make our ear. For this matter, we will use after pure element. Don't forget to use content width. Full width is 150 pixel and height let's give it just a 60 pixel. So here is a typo position up position. It is a rectangular shape, but we don't need a rectangular shape. We are going to manipulate it with our border radius property. So border bottom right radius. Let's give it a 70%. And the same we need to manipulate the left corner. Border bottom left radius 70%. And this is exactly what we want. We are now going to position it. First, let's define the left. Increase it 124 pixel. Okay, 124 pixel. Now match it with our background. It is a white. Give it a white. And here we are. Now it's look like a owl. And the next we need to create its leg. We have the class leg. Let's create the rectangular box with width property 20 pixel and height property 20 pixel. Background to appear on the screen. Position to be absolute. Create the shape with border radius. It's going to be rounded 50% top right, 50% top left, 0 and 0 bottom right and bottom left. We have leg 1 and leg 2 CSS class. We will use it now. Leg 1. Position it slightly up, -2 pixel, and left 29 pixels. We are going to use the same value for a right leg. Bottom going to -2 pixel and right to the right position, the same value 29. And here we created our pink owl. If you code with me, you will see it is not that difficult. We use position, top, left, right properties and all parts for rectangular or square shapes, and we manipulate it with border radius. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe, like, comment and share.